Hi dear students, today we're going to talk about report writing. Report writing, as you know, is a factual account of some event. Factual account of some event. Something took place in the past and you recount that event in a formal newspapery way. That is called report writing. Well, I myself coined the adjective newspapery because report is such a formal thing. It's a formal writing. It has to observe the rules of journalism. So, guys, it is factual account of some event. Means you have to describe facts, not emotions in this. A factual description of some event. Something took place. For example, an accident took place. You don't have to relate your emotional experience when you watched that accident, when you witnessed that accident. But you have to recount it factually. That is report writing. Now I'd like to talk to you about some do's and don'ts of report writing, as we have done in all other compositions also. I did tell you the do's and don'ts of every topic of composition. So here we do the same. Do's and don'ts. In simple words, the rules of report writing. What should be in a report, what should not be in a report. The first thing is it should be brief, factual, and yet interesting. Brief because people will not read a long report. It has to be concise. Concise means more stuff in less words, using few words and yet telling everything. Brevity is the soul of speech, as you know. So you have to be concise, you have to be brief, you have to be factual, and yet interesting. Now, it is the manner of you describing the event that will interest the reader. So guys, make it brief, factual, and yet interesting. Make it concise. Brevity, I repeat myself, brevity is the soul of speech. Okay? Brevity means using few words and putting in more ideas. So the second thing in this is it is a brief review of a situation and it should include only relevant points. There should be a logical development of ideas, events, etc. Logical development. Yeah. Logical development of ideas, events, etc. See guys, you can't put the horse behind the cart, or who will pull the cart? The horse has to be in front of the cart, never behind the cart. What I mean to say is, you have to have a proper order of things. There should be a logical development of ideas and events. You can't have a student be killed and the truck hit a car later on. First the truck hits a car and then someone dies in that. Clear? There should be logical development of ideas and events. Now what I'm going to tell you is very important. A report is an accurate and truthful coverage of an event. It should be accurate and truthful coverage. You can't lie to the audience, to the readers. You have to be accurate, you have to be truthful. Never try to guess things in this. Always write facts. Relate them as truthfully as you saw them. Clear? It should be in the third person and indirect speech should be used. Well guys, what I mean to say is it should be objective. Objective means impersonal. There should be nothing personal in this. You can't give your personal ideas. You can't share your own emotions about that thing. You can't even use first person pronouns. It should be in the third person pronoun. Clear, guys? Use third use the third person to relate the story. Use indirect speech. Passive voice is used. Well, in any objective writing, we use passive voice as much as possible. The language should be neutral and figurative. Neutral, formal, objective, and figurative. Neutral, formal, objective means impersonal, and figurative. Ornamental language should be avoided. Don't use ornamental language. You have to use formal language. You remember, every time you read newspaper, there are formal words in that. You have to use formal language. In fact, I call that language newspapery language. I coined that adjective. That is formal. There are some words which are used only in the newspaper, which you will not see anywhere else. There are some expressions which you will always see in the newspaper. You will never use them. You wouldn't find them in a novel or in a story. I call them newspapery words or expressions. So don't use ornamental language. Okay, guys? Your report should include answers to the questions. What are those questions? When, where, why, and how. When did the incident take place? Where it happened? Why it happened? How it happened. Got this, guys? So, as it is a formal writing, don't use short forms. Well, guys, report writing is a solemn responsibility. You should take care of the emotions of public. You should in no way try to offend the emotions of a particular community. Take care not to offend emotions of a particular community or group. As I have already taught you, it should be neutral. The language should be neutral. Clear? You just write what you saw. Your language should not offend anybody. It should be as you saw, nothing else. That's it. It is a solemn duty, solemn responsibility. Can't mess with it. Once you written it, guys, you revise it, you read it again. Read it again. To correct what? To correct grammatical mistakes plus punctuation mistakes. Okay, guys, these were the do's and don'ts of a good debate. Now, guys, I want to talk to you about the format of a report. What should a format have in it? Format. Well, the first thing is headline. The headline should be catchy, powerful and catchy. By powerful, I mean appealing. It should appeal to the mind or the emotions of the people. It should be catchy means it should be attractive. It should attract their attention. It should be able to compel them to read the report. If the headline is boring, if the headline is not powerful enough, if the headline is not catchy enough, most people will not read it. Only newspaper addicts will read that because they can't help but read that. So if you want your readers to read your article, your report, you need to use a powerful and catchy headline in block letters, of course. Yeah, like block letters is not a rule, but you do make it bold, clear. Second thing, it should be brief, as we have. Yeah, it should be brief. By brief, I mean it should not be too long. It should be a short phrase or statement. Short phrase